And if their face brightens up.
Pastor Jerry Lawson leads Daystar Church in Good Hope. They opened this 1,000-seat auditorium 6 years ago, where they, like all churches, strive to be good stewards with their congregation's giving.
No more than a third is salaries for all employees. No more than a third is program cost and facility cost, and a good third is outreach.
To find out how the area's biggest churches are spending their tithes and offerings, we first had to narrow our search to the 10 largest in our 21-county viewing area. Based on our research, here's the list we came up with. The Church of the Highlands in Shelby County, Church at Brook Hills, Gardendale First Baptist, Hoover's Hunter Street Baptist, and the Worship Center Christian Church in East Jefferson County. The rest of the top 10 included Homewood's Dawson Baptist, Shades Mountain Baptist, Faith Chapel Christian Center, Briarwood Presbyterian, and Pastor Lawson's Daystar Church. When we sat down with Pastor Lawson, he was very open about how they decide how much money he makes.
When it comes to the senior pastor's salary, we hire an outside firm to make a recommendation of what pastors all over America should make with our numbers.
Dr. Tom Fuller at the Beeson Divinity School has researched megachurches. He says the IRS does have some authority to ensure pastor salaries do not become excessive.
Typically, they would begin with some sort of sanction, and then if the situation was not remedied, they might proceed to revoke their tax-exempt status. But the IRS has been very hesitant to get into that.
To find out how churches are prioritizing their tithes and offerings, we requested the latest financial figures from the 10 churches we mentioned. Of those, 7 opened their books to us. That group included Church of the Highlands, the Church of Brook Hills, Gardendale First Baptist, Hunter Street Baptist, Shades Mountain Baptist, Briarwood Presbyterian, and Daystar Church. The total budget for that group ranges from $2.7 million all the way up to $42.5 million. So of that, what percentage should a church spend on administration and personnel costs?
A common figure that you will run across is that churches should strive to keep their personnel cost at 50% or less.
Based on the budgets we were given, the percentages range from as low as 20% right up to that 50% mark. Dee Allen is the executive pastor for administration with Gardendale First Baptist Church.
On the personnel side, we usually are around 42%. The reason you do that, John, is combined, you need to make sure that you've got something left over for ministries, which is what it's all about.
So what about general church operations and ministries? The 7 churches in our survey spend as little as 4% and as much as 27% in that category. There is a similar range for missions and outreach funding. 2 spend around 8% and 1 as much as 28%.
When someone says, how much of your budget goes to missions, sort of in a coy way, I say 100%, because if it's not reaching the mission of Jesus, we quit doing it. We just don't do it.
Finally, next to personnel costs, the churches we studied spent the most on facilities and debt, between 15 and 52%. Like we mentioned, 7 of the 10 churches we contacted agreed to share their finances with us, something which is not required by the IRS.
I don't believe it needs to be made a matter of public record. At the same time, I hope any church would be of the attitude that we would gladly welcome a fair auditing by anyone.
Pastor Jerry Lawson and the Daystar Church fall into that group. He said, in his opinion, the handful of scandals the American church has seen over the years should motivate all churches to open their books.
Because of all that, people are very, jaded, and they question a lot of things. So I think it's very important not just to be transparent to your local church membership, but to the community at large.
Ultimately, though, each church is responsible to the members which fund it. Refusing to provide finances to its own congregation should not be an option.
I think the key is if you've got unity in your church and you've got trust among your leadership, then I think that gives your members kind of a peace that the money is, God's money's been accounted for and it's been spent wisely.
In full disclosure, that group of top 10 churches included my own. I am a member of the Hunter Street Baptist Church. They were the first church of which I requested a budget and the first to provide it. If you see something which requires further examination, email me at jpapke@wvtm.com. I'm John Papke. Alabama's 13 investigates.